podium, a dear friend of mine. I know Christine for many, many years. I knew her when she was actively engaged in the activity of which she's going to be speaking again. But Christine H.B. Grant is the past director of women's athletics at the University of Iowa. She started in 1973. She was invited to come and to develop the women's athletic department. After 27 years at the helm, she brought about a great deal of change, both attitude as well as culturally, as well as the sports that she got the University of Iowa to engender into their curriculum. She is a native of Scotland. You'll recognize that shortly when she begins to speak. She, unlike the southern part of Iowa, she speaks with a delightful accent. And take that, Leon. But she's been recognized internationally as well as nationally in the State of Iowa's Women Hall of Fame. The NCAA President Jill R. Ford Award is what she's also received. She's been recognized and awarded the Billie Jean King Contribution Award from Women's Sports Foundation. The list is a litany of international and nationally recognized awards. But I have asked Christine to come today to speak from her point of view on what we can do as an organization with the young people, similar to what she was doing with young people during many years at the helm of the Women's Athletic Department of the University of Iowa. Please welcome Dr. Christine Grant.
Can you hear me back there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I've always had a great admiration for what Rotarians do to enhance the lives of people, not only in the USA, but also across the world. It's such a worthwhile and essential contribution to our society. Chris tells me that many of you are currently contemplating how to grow and how to diversify your organizations. And that's what I'd like to talk about today. It's a very exciting and a very challenging endeavor. Back in 1972, I had an exciting and challenging endeavor. I was appointed athletic director of the 12 newly created women's intercollegiate athletic teams at the University of Iowa. As you know, Title IX was passed in 1972, the federal law that prohibits discriminatory practices in our institutions of education in the nation. The part of the law that produced the greatest controversy was the fact that Title IX was to cover all interscholastic and all intercollegiate sports. At Iowa, where the news of Title IX was celebrated by everyone in women's athletics, I was blessed to work with quality people such as President Sandy Boyd and men's athletic director Tom Elliott. In the 1970s, both men were so far ahead of their times. These were men who realized and also believed that girls and women deserve an equal opportunity to excel in whatever avenue they chose to pursue, including sport. I know that at many universities there were openly hostile feelings between men's and women's athletics for many, many years. And at most universities there were very little support for the newly created women's teams. Even by 1980, when most of the universities had merged their men's and women's programs into one department, headed by the male athletic director, there seemed to be very little attention given to the needs of the women's teams. But at Iowa, where the separate men's and women's departments were kept separate until the year 2000, when I retired, People were truly surprised at the degree of support that the women's team received from the men's head coaches. In fact, it was astonishing to many when the men's basketball coach, George Radlin, made a television commercial to promote the women's season ticket that was called the Gold Card. Does anybody remember the Gold Card?
Yes.
Thank you. Shortly thereafter, our football coach, Aidan Fry, came to me and asked me why I didn't ask him. Which I probably did. And then after Aidan's commercial, Dan Gable did another one for us. That's the kind of win-win situation that often can be the result of the development of a climate and a culture that encourages mutual respect and mutual support. It was teamwork that made all of us realize that by assisting each other, we were contributing to the success of both men's and the women's programs, and we were very proud of that success. I should also say that when we decided to try to break the NCAA attendance record at a women's basketball game, George, Hayden, and Dan helped promote that game in their weekly radio shows. And we did smash the NCAA record that day. We squeezed over 22,000 people into our arena with seats 15,500. The next day, I got a letter of reprimand from the university because I had broken fire. I deserved that reprimand, and I framed it. I have to stress that the success at Iowa in creating this culture could not have been accomplished without the leadership of President Boyd, Bob Elliott, and our very supportive male coaches. I tell you this story because I wanted to stress that leadership is absolutely essential when working to significantly change an environment. I also wanted you to think about the values of teamwork and what the values of diversity are. It's not always obvious to everyone that there are real values to building a culture of teamwork and diversity, but believe me, there are. Many people believe that diversity encompasses only race and gender, but in recent years it has been really expanded to include many more elements. I found the two major dimensions of diversity as described by Loden and Rosner to be helpful to me. Quote, primary dimensions are things we cannot change. They include age, race, ethnicity, gender, physical qualities, and sexual orientation. Secondary dimensions include factors such as experiences, education, religious beliefs, etc. While the definition of diversity may vary somewhat among the researchers, there seems to be considerable agreement that organizations that recruit employees with different backgrounds, different experiences, and different qualifications can create teams with the ability to problem solve, which is an absolutely critical factor in our competitive economy. In a similar vein, there is agreement that diversity stimulates creativity and innovation. In an article by Kirby and Burns, they note, quote, of 321 large global enterprises, companies with at least $500 million in annual revenue, 85% agreed or strongly agreed that diversity is crucial to fostering innovation in the workplace. 85%. Researchers additionally note that recruiting from a large diverse pool of applicants can result in the hiring of more qualified people. Pre-Title IX, girls and women were systematically discriminated against in our educational institutions. At the college and university levels, young women were required to have higher ACT scores and higher GPA scores than their brothers, nor were they eligible for any academic scholarships. Moreover, they were either prohibited from enrolling in many of our colleges, for example, medicine, dentistry, engineering, law, etc., or there was a very strict and very small quota of places in which these colleges could give places to women. Discriminatory practices such as these disappeared very quickly after Title IX was passed. And much to the surprise of many people, young women raced toward these new opportunities in academia, and they soaked up the chances to learn. Sometimes it seems to me as though people only think of sport when they think of Title IX. So I would like to show you the most important results of Title IX, and they have absolutely nothing to do with sport. You will see on this slide, female dental grads exploded from 1% to 36% by 1996. 1%. That was 1972. Medical grads, women increased from 9% to 41%. Law grads, women, from 7% it rose to 43%. PhD women, 14% grew to 40%. And female faculty from 25% to 40%. In the next slide, you will see the percentage of degrees that were conferred to women in 2010. Associate degrees, women, 62%. Bachelor's, 57%. Masters, 63%. Doctorates, 53%. Amazing figures, aren't they? Before Title IX, one of the reasons used to exclude women from leadership positions was that they did not have the education to be qualified for such positions. Unfortunately, that is not true now. In brief, what we have created through Title IX is an ongoing and ever-growing pool of untapped talent comprised of women of all races and ethnicities. The reason that successful companies are strenuously recruiting women who will add to their diversity population is that they know they will be creating a more lucrative workforce that will produce more positive financial results. So one of the key questions for these organizations is how best to recruit the best when they are competing against the top organizations in the nation. And this is where I think the challenges in the intercollegiate athletic world and the Rotary world meet because of similar circumstances. One of the most difficult challenges for coaches in Iowa is to successfully recruit against some of the most attractive universities in the USA. Universities that live in the Sun Belt, and we don't. Universities that live in regions where great competitive teams are in close proximity. And universities with large populations in close proximity to the recruit's family. Our Iowa coaches must learn very quickly that their success as recruiters depends on their ability to minimize our weaknesses and maximize our strengths. We must learn how best to sell the University of Iowa. That is also true, I believe, for Rotary clubs. In athletics, we also know that to obtain commitment from one student athlete, it may be necessary to recruit 4 or 5 athletes, since these prospective student athletes are also considering institutions. I've often said that the fastest and the easiest way to dramatically increase our attendance at women's athletic events is to have our regular season ticket holders recruit just one person to commit to becoming a season ticket holder for the next season. Automatically doubling the population. If the successful recruitment of one person became a goal of each current member of a Rotary Club, the result would be a significant infusion of new blood every year that this strategy is employed. That, coupled with a long-range goal to mirror the primary dimensions of diversity that exist in our nation, would provide a sense of direction for the organisation and a truly meaningful challenge. Our rival coaches also know that the recruitment process begins long before graduation from high school, because trust